Peter Semyonich was the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. He was successful with all women, for that matter. But there was a special challenge to young, beautiful women married to rich, prominent men. I could never do him justice. Let him tell you in his own words. If I may say so myself, I am the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. I say this not boastfully, but as a matter of record. The staggering figures speak for themselves. For those of you men in the audience interested in playing this highly satisfying but often dangerous game, I urge you, take out a pen and paper and take notes. I am going to explain my methods. In defense, married women may do likewise, but it will do them little good if they happen to be your chosen target. My method has never failed. Now then, in order to seduce a man's wife, there are 3 vital characteristics. They are patience, more patience, and still more patience. For those of you men who don't have the strength of character to wait, I urge you, take up rowing, bicycling, perhaps. Seducing isn't for you. Now then, in order to seduce a man's wife, you must, I repeat, must, stay as far away from her as possible. Pay her practically no attention at all. Ignore her, if you must. We will get to her through the husband. Lucky for you in the audience tonight, you get to witness a practical demonstration. For as it just so happens, I am madly and deeply in love this week. My heart pounds with excitement, knowing that at any minute she shall pass through this park with her husband. Every fiber of my being is going to throw my arms around her and embrace her with all the love of my heart. But observe how a master works. I shall be cool, almost to the point of freezing. My heart of hearts and spouse approaches.
Ah, Peter Semyonich. Fancy meeting you here.
Oh, my dear Nikolai, how very good to see you. Notice how I'm not looking at her.
Thank you, and you. You said you're always looking well. Excuse me, have you met my wife, Irina? Of course you have. You sat next to her at dinner at the bedtime. Irina, I don't know what this charmer said to you at dinner, but I must warn you that he is a scoundrel, a notorious bad man, an exceptional swordsman. That's the best I can say for you, Peter.
Oh, Nicky, you exaggerate. Madame, good to see you again.
And we were just taking a stroll. If you're not busy, we'll invite you up with us.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Nicky. But it seems a new love has entered my life, and my legs are like pillars of granite. Until she's out of my sight, I fear I will not be able to move. Too much, do you think? As I said, be patient.
Fantastic. You never cease to amaze me. Pretty, I suppose.
Pretty? I suppose glorious. Suppose magnificent if you'll suppose correctly.
Any complications?
As usual. A husband. It seems my cause looks hopeless.
Nonsense. I'm placing my money on you, Peter. And you know I never bet unless I'm sure when. Look, we're on. Good hunting, my boy. Good hunting.
Madame. Beautifully done, don't you think? I'm sometimes awed by the work of a true professional. Did you notice? Our eyes barely met, and yet how much she knows about me already. A, I'm a popular bachelor. B, a man in love, always titillating to the romantic type. C, a gifted sportsman, a nice contrast to her sedentary husband. And D, a dangerous man to the ladies. Quite frankly, at this point, she's disgusted with me. Because A, I'm a braggart and scoundrel. B, because I'm shamelessly frank as to my intentions. And C, because she thinks that she's not the one I'm in love with. Excuse me if I'm suddenly blown away by my own deviousness. Are you getting all this down? It gets pretty difficult from here on in. Now then, next step, hypnosis. Not hypnosis with the eyes, with the poison of your tongue, much like a venomous snake moving into the kill. And what's more, the best channel is through the husband himself. Witness how I accidentally run into him at the club one day.
Peter, you're looking glum. I think your pursuit is not going well.
Isn't that obvious? Oh, Dickie, I do. I haven't seen her since I saw you and your wife in the park. I eat little and sleep less. I've had all my shirt collars taken in half an inch. Oh, Dickie, why do I do this to myself? Why do I waste my valuable youth chasing women I can never truly call my own? How I envy you.
Me? What's there about me that you envy?
By your marriage, of course. A lovely woman, your wife, let me tell you.
Really? What is there about her that fascinates you so?
Oh, it's her grace, her quiet charm, everything. Most it's the way she looks at me, Nicky. Oh, if only someone would look at me like that. It must send quivers through your whole body.
Quiver? No, not really.
A tingle, perhaps? Don't tell me you don't tingle when she looks at you.
Of course, by all means. I tingle all the time.
She's an ideal woman, Nicky. Take that from a lowly bachelor such as myself, and be glad that fate gave you a wife like that.
Perhaps fate will be as kind for you.
That's what I'm counting on. Oh, good heavens, I'm late for a doctor's appointment.
What did you do for?
Melancholia. Nicky, thank you so much for lunch. And please say hello to your wife for me. But I urge you, do not repeat the things that I said. I wouldn't want to embarrass her fragile sensitivities. Well, I'm off. Oh, where's the woman for me? I know where. The question is, how soon can she be mine? Oh, there's still work to be done. But not by me. That job follows my later accomplice. Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today.
Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today.
Who?
Peter Semyonich. The bachelor. We met him in the garden last week. That attractive fellow. You remember.
I remember what a loathsome man he is.
You may not think so when you hear what he had to say about you.
Nothing that braggart has to say would interest me.
He spoke most enthusiastically about you. He was enraptured by your grace, your quiet charm, and he seemed to feel that you were capable of loving a man in some extraordinary way. There was something about the eyes, the way they looked so adoringly. He certainly had a lot to say about you. He went on and on. Good night, my dear.
Good night. What else? What else did he have to say about me?
Peter?
Whatever that loathsome man's name is, what else did Peter Semyonich have to say about me?
Well, that's more or less it, what I told you.
But you said he went on and on.
He did.
Well, if you went on and on, then don't stop. Either go on and on or let's go to bed.
Well, he said how much he envied me. How much he wanted someone to look at him the way you look at me.
How does he know how I look at you?
Well, it must have been that day in the gardens. He must have been looking at you when you were looking at me. It sent a tingle through my whole body.
The way I looked at you.
Exactly, my love.
But you were looking at him, so you couldn't have seen how I was looking at you. And either way, I was looking at the flowers because he made me nervous the way he kept avoiding looking at me. He must have tingled for some other reason.
It's rather confusing. The point is, he found you fascinating. I thought it was easy.
Well, it doesn't. I would rather you didn't tell me such stories. Are you seeing him again soon?
Tomorrow, for lunch.
Well, I would rather not be discussed over lunch. Tell him that. And at dinner you can tell me what he said. Good night.
Good night, my love. Oh, I'm spellbound by my own powers. I succeeded in not only piquing her interests, but causing her heart to flutter at the mention of my name, the same man she called loathsome not 2 minutes ago. And all this was accomplished, mind you, while I was at home, taking a nice pint-scented bath. Luncheon the next day, was not only nourishing, but productive. Oh, by the way, old man, I ran into a cross-off the other day. The artist, it seems he's been commissioned by some wealthy Russian prince to paint the head of a typical Russian beauty, and he asked me to look out for a model for him. Well, I said I knew just the girl, but I wouldn't dare ask her myself. Would you consider asking your wife?
Asking my wife what?
To be the model, of course. That lovely head of hers deserves to be immortalized for the whole world.
For the whole world? Really? I see what you mean.
Why don't you discuss it with
Good idea. I'll discuss it with her. Well, I said I would discuss it with you. What do you think?
I think it's nonsense. I mean, did he actually say a typical Russian beauty?
Precisely. And that it would be a damn shame if that exquisite face gets the chance to become immortalized for all the world. That's exactly what he said.
He gets carried away by his own voice. Those exact words. He didn't leave anything out.
Oh, yes. That lovely face. I looked up. That lovely face. He said that a number of times, I think.
He does go on, doesn't he? How many times did he say it? Once, twice, what?
It's hard to remember.
It's not important, but in the future I do wish you would write these things down.
Have you seen me near her? Have you seen me talk to her? Has any correspondence passed between us at all? No, my dear pupils. And yet she hangs on my every word uttered by her husband. Awesome, isn't it? We apply this treatment for 2 to 3 weeks. Her resistance is weakening. But weakening.
His mind seems to be elsewhere, if you ask me. On some woman from the look of her.
What woman? Has he mentioned any woman in particular?
Oh no, he's too discreet for that. He'll protect your good name at any cost. Instead, he speaks of you all day. Poor fool. I'm beginning to feel sorry for him.
It's really none of our concern. Did you invite her to dinner tomorrow?
He's busy.
The day after that?
Busy.
Next week? Next month? When? Doesn't the man eat?
He says he's involved on a very important project, and it will be months before he can see it. He did say that with patience and persistence, good things will come to him. By the way, he thinks you should go on stage.
Me? The stage? Why? What happened to me?
Well, he said, just a moment. I don't want to misquote him.
No, take your time. Try to get it as accurately as possible.
Ah, yes. He said, with such an attractive appearance, such intelligence, it's a sin for her to be just a housewife.
Here. You said that.
And that ordinary demands don't exist for such women.
Nikki, I don't think I want to hear it anymore.
Natures like that should not be bound by time and space.
Nikki, I implore you, please. Stop.
And then he says, if I weren't so busy, I'd take her away from you.
You said that.
Yes, right there.
Nikki, what did you say to him? It's important I know what you said to him then.
Well, I said, take her then. I'm not going to fight a duel over her.
You mustn't discuss me with him anymore. I beg you never to mention my name to him ever again.
What I know, my love. He's the one who always brings up the subject. He actually accused me the other day of not understanding you. He yelled at me. She's an exceptional creature, strong, seeking her way out. If I were Turgenev, I would put her in a novel. The passionate angel, I would call it. The man is weird. Definitely weird.
He's delivering my love letters and seals them with kisses and calls me weird. Oh, I tell you. Now let's see what we've got so far. The woman is definitely consumed with the passion to meet me. She is sure that I'm the only man who truly understands her. Her yawning, disinterested husband transmits my remarks, but it's my voice that she hears, my words that sing in her heart. Sweet poison is doing its work. There's no room for mercy in this seducing business. I am relentless. Observe how deftly the final strokes are mixed. For those of you weak at heart, I urge you, look away.
No, Nikki, I don't want to hear anything else. Not another word from him. Nothing.
But exactly. That's what he said. He begged me to tell you nothing. He said he knew because of your weak, sympathetic nature. You would worry to hear of someone else's distress.
He's in distress.
Worse, he's gloomy, or morbid in the depths of despair.
Oh, but why? What's the matter with him?
Loneliness. He says he has no true friends, no relatives, not a soul who understands him.
But doesn't he know how much we understand him perfectly? Doesn't he know how much we appreciate and commune with him daily? Doesn't he know how much we yearn to be with him? You and I?
I tried to make that clear. I again urged him to come home to me, but he said he can't face people. He's so depressed he faces no home apart. Where have you met him? Every night.
What time?
Between 8 and 9. By the way, we're invited to the Boston event tomorrow. Is 8 o'clock alright for you?
No. I'm visiting Aunt Sophia tomorrow. She's ill. I'll be there at 9. Or a little after.
No, it's not necessary. Please, no pause. I couldn't have done it alone. I share that honor with my aided accomplice, her husband. Oh, he wooed her so successfully. There's no carriage that could have brought her here fast enough. She ran all the way. And now, for concluding, for you, the audience, I would have to ask that you busy yourselves with your programs and such for the next couple minutes. This last part is private, and I am, after all, a gentleman. Oh, my dear. Oh, my sweet dear, at last I can find you.
No! Not a word. One sound. Please. Not until you've heard it from my heart. For weeks now I've been in torment. You've used my husband as a clever and devious device to arouse my passions, which I freely admit have been laying dormant for the past 7 years. Whether you were sincere or not, you've awakened in me desires and longings I've never dreamed were possible. You appeal my vanity and I succumb. You disturb my thoughts of untold pleasures, and I weep. You attack my every vulnerability, and I surrender. I'm yours, Peter Semyonich, if you want me. But let me add this. I love my husband dearly. He's not a passionate man nor even remotely romantic. Our life together reaches neither the heights of ecstasy nor the depths of anguish. We have an even marriage, moderate and comfortable. And in accepting this condition and the full measure of his devoted love, I have been happy. I come to you knowing that once you take me in your arms, my marriage and my life with Minnie will be destroyed for all time. I am too weak and too selfish to make the choice. The option is yours, Peter. Whichever you choose will make you both miserable and eternally grateful. I beg of you not to use me as an amusement, although even with that knowledge I would not refuse you. I'm yours to do as you will, Peter. If you want me, open your arms now and I will come to you. But if you love me, turn your back and I will leave and never see or speak to you ever again. The option, my dearest, sweetest love of my life, is yours. I await your decision. God bless you, Peter Semyonich. I hope life brings you the happiness you've just brought to me.
Peter Semyonich, the former seducer of other men's wives, a From that day on, turns attention to young, beautiful, single woman only. Until one day the firm bachelor finally married. He is to this day a very happy man, except perhaps on the occasion that some dashing young officer tells him how lovely he finds his wife.